Hello, travelers and monster catchers abound. I'm Stella Ferris, and you've crash landed on the Monster Catchers Journal podcast, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode. It happened just after dawn, though on Nibiru you'd never know it. The twin suns and three moons hung frozen in the sky, locked in place in an unchanging glow. Me, Zena, Luna, and Astra were tracking a powerful signal deep in the Inado Desert. Our glyph detection guns pulsed wildly, the readings climbing higher with every step. When we reached the clearing, everything went still. No wind, no shifting sand, not even a single insect. The detector screamed off the charts, but there was nothing there. I raised my hand slightly, signaling the others to stop. My voice came out low, but firm. We have to be careful. We don't know where it is. It could be like camouflage glyphs, blending in. Then it revealed itself, like it had been there the whole time, just hiding in plain sight. The creature stepped forward, its form warping out of the desert itself. A massive, unnatural fusion, its body heavy like a cow. Its stance tense and predatory like a lion. Its face ended in a sharp, curved beak, and from the top of its head extended two slick, twitching snail-like eye stalks, swaying as they locked onto us. Its beak opened. Mootaa! Mootaa! The sound pulsed through the ground. Then the eye stalks snapped forward. Watch it! Astra shouted. They struck like a whip. Snail Snap. I jumped back just in time as the attack cracked into the sand. This wasn't fear. This wasn't a warning display. It was aggression. It wanted us gone. I clenched my fist, feeling the familiar pull of my glyphs, ready to answer my call. I was about to summon one when I heard it. Softer, smaller. Mootaa! Mootaa! I froze. Behind the massive creature, something tiny shifted. A small head peeked out, little eye stalks wobbling as it copied the same sound, a baby. My breath caught. Slowly, I lowered my hand. This isn't a Mel, I said quietly. She's not attacking us out of anger. The larger glyph moved, placing herself directly between us and the small one. She's protecting her baby. The mother let out a deeper, trembling call. Mootaa! Not a threat, not a challenge, a warning. Stay away or else. The desert held its breath. None of us moved. The mother's eyes stalks swayed slowly, tracking every tiny shift we made. Her body swayed, planted between us and the baby. Her beak slightly open. That low rumble still echoed in her chest. Mootaa! Astra leaned closer to me, her voice barely a whisper. So what's the plan? Because if she charges, we're not outrunning that. Zena tightened her grip on her detector. She's not bluffing. That reading hasn't dropped at all. If anything, it's getting stronger. Luna's eyes softened as she looked past the mother. The baby, it's scared. I nodded slowly. She thinks we're predators. The word hung in the air, because to her we were. I exhaled and raised my hand again, but this time not to attack, to summon. A soft glow formed at my side as one of the glyphs emerged, its presence gentle, calm, non-threatening. I didn't need power right now. I needed trust. Easy, I murmured, more to the mother than anyone else. We're not here to hurt you. The mother tensed instantly. Her eye stalk snapped upright. Mootaa! The ground trembled as she stomped forward, her warning sharper this time. My glyph paused, sensing the tension. Zena hissed under her breath. Stella Ferris, she's going to attack. I know, I said quietly, but I didn't pull back. Instead, I slowly lowered myself, dropping to one knee in the sand. Astra blinked. What are you doing? Showing her, I whispered, we're not a threat. The mother hesitated just for a second. Her eye stalks twitched, unsure. Behind her, the baby let out a tiny tremble. Mootaa! It stepped forward just a little too far, and that's when everything went wrong. The mother reacted instantly. She lunged. Now Astra shouted. The eye stalks lashed forward in a violent arc, faster than before, stronger, fueled by pure instinct. My heart slammed back. I shouted, but instead of attacking, I reached out. Stop! My glyph surged forward, not with force, but with light. A soft, pulsing glow spread across the sand. meeting the strike head on, not to overpower it, but to slow it. The snail snap hit and faltered. For a fraction of a second, enough! The strike slammed into the ground, inches from me. Sand exploded upwards. Silence followed. Heavy, thick, uncertain. The mother froze, so did I. We were inches apart, her eyes stalks, lowered slightly, twitching, confused. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Then slowly, very slowly, I lowered my hand. "We don't want your baby," I said softly behind her. The small one let out another quiet Mootaa. The mother shifted just enough to glance back, and in that moment the fight drained out of her stance. Not completely, but enough. Zena whispered, "Did we just not die?" I didn't answer because the mission had just changed. This was wasn't a capture anymore. This was something else. And deep down I had a feeling this wouldn't be the last time we heard that call echo across Nibiru. Mootaa! The sound lingered long after she made it. Mootaa. It wasn't loud anymore. It wasn't sharp. It was tired. The kind of sound that comes from something that had been on edge for far too long. No one moved. Not me, not Zena, not Luna, not Astra, and not the Mootaas. Even my Glyph stayed still beside me, its glow dimmed to something soft and steady. The mother shifted her weight, her eye stalks lowering just a little. Not relaxed, not safe, but no longer ready to strike at every breath we took. Behind her, the baby stepped out a little further this time, tiny, wobbly. Its little beak clicked as it looked between us and its mother. "Mootaa!" Luna's voice barely existed when she spoke. "It doesn't understand why she's scared." Zena glanced at the readings again, frowning. The energy spiked. "It's not just her. It's both of them." Astra crossed her arms slightly. "Great, so we've got an overprotective mother and a baby radiating unstable Glyph energy. That's not a situation. It's a disaster waiting to happen." I watched them closely. The baby stumbled forward another step. The mother reacted instantly, shifting, blocking, guiding it back with a low rumble. But something was off. Her movements were slower now, heavier. And then I saw it. "Wait," I whispered. Zena looked over. "What?" I pointed carefully, not wanting to startle her. Her side. There, just beneath her shoulder, was a deep, jagged wound. The skin around it shimmered unevenly. Her camouflage flickered uncontrollably around the injury. Luna gasped softly. "She's hurt." Astra's tone dropped. "That explains the aggression." Zena nodded slowly. "In the unstable readings, the pieces clicked into place all at once. She wasn't just protecting her baby. She was doing it while injured, while exhausted, while barely holding herself together." And then another low sound escaped her. "Mootaa." This one cracked. I swallowed hard. She thinks we're here to finish her off. Silence. Then Zena asked the question no one wanted to say out loud. "So what do we do?" I didn't answer right away because the truth was I didn't know. We had little options. We could leave, walk away, let nature take its course, or I looked at the baby, now pressing gently against its mother's leg. We could help. I stood slowly, keeping my movements calm and deliberate. "We're not capturing her," I said firmly. Astra raised an eyebrow. "Then what?" I exhaled. "We earn her trust, or we lose them both." The mother's eye stalks lifted slightly again, sensing the shift. I raised my hand, not to summon power, but something gentler. "Easy," I whispered. My Glyph stepped forward again, its light warmer, this time softer, like sunlight instead of lightning. The mother tensed but didn't strike. That alone was everything. I took one careful step closer, then another. The desert felt like it was holding its breath again. If I moved too close, if I made one wrong choice, this would end badly. But if I didn't try, the baby let out a small, hopeful Mootaa, and that decided it. I knelt slowly in the sand just within reach, but not close enough to threaten. I'm going to help you, okay? I'm not going to hurt you," I said quietly. The mother's eye stalks trembled. Her body shifted, uncertain, torn between fear and something else, something she didn't want to feel, trust. For a long moment, nothing happened, then slowly she stepped back. Just one step. But it was enough. Zena sucked in a breath behind me. She's letting you... I didn't look away, didn't rush. Carefully, I reached out, my Glyph's soft light spilling over my hands as I moved towards the wound. Stay with me, I whispered. The mother let out a low, shaky Mootaa. Not a warning, not this time. A plea. And under the unmoving sky of Nibiru, for the first time since we arrived, she wasn't fighting us anymore. She was trusting us. I took a steady breath and reached into my satchel, pulling out a glyphid. Its surface shimmered the moment it touched my hand, like it already knew. They chose me, I said quietly, so I have to choose them. Zena glanced over, eyes sharp. Then do it. I stepped forward, lifting the glyphid toward the mother and her baby. For a moment, everything went still. Even the wind seemed to pause. Then, a golden light began to climb across the surface of the glyphid, spreading in slow, glowing veins until it pulsed bright in my hand. The energy built, humming softly, then suddenly surged outward. It leapt from the glyphid like a living thing, straight towards the mother, Mootaa. The baby chirped, "Mootaa!" But neither of them ran. The light wrapped around them both at once. Zena's voice cut through the moment. "Wait, both of them?" Astrid stepped forward. "That's not how it works." But it was. The golden light intensified, swirling around the mother and her baby, binding them together instead of pulling them apart. It grew so bright, we had to shield our eyes. For a few seconds, everything disappeared in that glow. No desert, no sky, no sound, just light. Then it faded, slowly, gently, like the world was returning piece by piece. I lowered my arm. The clearing was silent again. The wind had stopped. The mother, the baby, gone. In my hand, the glyphid pulsed softly. It glowed, now deeper, richer than before, alive, whole. Inside, I could feel them together. A faint, layered echo whispered from within, "Mootaa! Mootaa!" Then, Zena let out a breath. "Whew! Okay, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that." Astra shook her head, still staring. 2 glyphs, 1 glyphid. That breaks a lot of rules. Luna smiled softly, looking at me. They didn't want to be separated. I closed my fingers gently around the glyphid, feeling the warmth of their presence. "Yeah," I said. They chose to stay together, above us, and the unmoving sky of Nibiru stretched endlessly on, unchanged, eternal. Above us, the unmoving sky of Nibiru stretched endlessly on, unchanged, eternal. But something had changed. This wasn't just a capture. This was a bond, unlike anything I've seen or my friends have seen before. And somehow I knew this was only the beginning. The Mootaa were finally caught, but that didn't mean we were safe. We couldn't go back to the Cross-the-Door outpost, not while the Council of Elders were still watching, still waiting for us to slip up. That place wasn't home anymore. That's why we built something new, something hidden, something ours. Deep beneath the sands of the Inado Desert on Nibiru, our underground base waited. I closed my hand around the glyphid, feeling the soft, steady pulse of the 2 inside it. "Let's go home." The entrance revealed itself only when we were close, sand parting just enough to expose the concealed doorway. As we stepped inside, the heat of the desert gave way to something cooler, controlled, alive. Lights flickered on, one by one, as we descended, the low hum of our system welcoming us back. Zena stretched slightly. "I'll never get used to how this place just wakes up." Astra smirked. "Better than getting caught." Luna smiled softly, already looking toward the habitat chambers. "They're going to love it here." She was right. Our base, like the pyramid house, like the old outpost, was built for glyphs. But this one was better. Hidden, protected, advanced. Each chamber was turned to specific environments: lush forest, deep water pools, volcanic heat zones, shadow caverns. Artificial weather cycles shifted seamlessly, mimicking the nature and natural rhythms of different regions across Nibiru, a sanctuary. I stepped into the open chamber and slowly raised the Glyph. "All right," I whispered, "you're home." The Glyph pulsed once, twice, then opened. Golden light spilled out, filled the chamber as the energy unfurled. The two currents separated, but only slightly, still orbiting one another like they refused to drift apart. Then they formed. The mother Mootaa landed first, steady but cautious, her eye stalks rising as she scanned the new environment. The baby followed right after, tumbling slightly before letting out an excited Mootaa! It immediately began exploring, waddling forward, poking at the ground, sniffing the air. The mother watched closely, then slowly relaxed. The artificial breeze moved through the chamber, warm and gentle. The ground shifted slightly, adapting, soft sand forming beneath their feet. Familiar, comforting. Zena blinked. "Okay, yeah, that's actually perfect." Astra nodded. "No threats. Controlled environment. No council." Luna stepped forward just a little, smiling. "Then they feel it." And they did. The baby spun in a small circle, chirping happily. "Mootaa! Mootaa!" The mother let out a low, steady call in response. "Mootaa!" Not a warning, not fear, contentment. I exhaled, something in my chest finally loosening. "They're safe," I said. For the first time in a long time, it felt true. The mother looked at me, then really looked. Her eye stalks lowered slightly, not in submission, but in recognition, trust. Behind her, the baby bounded back toward her, then toward me again, like it couldn't decide who to stay close to. Zena laughed quietly. "Yeah, they're not going anywhere." I smiled faintly. Good, because neither were we. Not anymore. Down here beneath the endless, unmoving sky of Nibiru. We were running. Or we weren't running, sorry. We were building something new, a hidden world, a family. And as a soft sound echoed through the chamber, "Mootaa!" It no longer felt like a warning carried across the desert. It felt like peace. And although it was peaceful, that peace didn't last. It never does. It started with Luna. "I'm just going to go out for a little while," she said, trying way too hard to sound casual. Zena didn't even look up. Where?" Luna hesitated. Astra smirked immediately. "Oh, this is going to be good." "It's not a big deal," Luna said quickly. "I just met someone." That got my attention. "Met someone," I repeated. Luna crossed her arms, flustered. "Yes, and I'm allowed to have a life, even if we're hiding from the council." She wasn't wrong, but still. "Where are you meeting them?" I asked. "Near the upper ridges, just outside the Inado Desert." Zena finally looked up. "That's way too close to patrol zones." "I'll be careful," Luna insisted. "I won't say anything. I won't bring anything back. I just need a break." Silence. Then Astra shrugged. "Let her go. She wants to betray us. She wouldn't ask." I didn't like it, but I trusted her. "Be back before the second cycle," I said. Luna smiled. Relieved. "I will." Hours passed. Too many. Zena was pacing now. She should have been back by now. Astra leaned against the wall, but even she looked tense. She's not careless. I stood near the monitoring system, watching the surface scan. Nothing. No movement, no signals. Then a spike. Zena rushed over. "Wait, what is that?" The system lit up, multiple signatures. High level. My stomach dropped. Council. Astra straightened instantly. "How many?" "Too many," Zena said. "And they're sweeping. Luna. They had to follow her, or tracked her, or worse. She led them here without knowing. Shut everything down," I said immediately. Zena nodded, hands flying across the controls, powering down our system. Masking heat signatures, the base dimmed, the artificial environment slowed. Even the air felt quieter. "Cloaking filled?" Astra asked. Activating, Zena replied. A low hum spread through the walls as the base began to disappear from scans, from detection, from everything. But it wasn't perfect. It never was. Footsteps, faint, above us. The council was here. In the habitat chamber, the Mootaa mother stiffened. Her eye stalks shot upward. "Mootaa!" Low, sharp danger. The mother pressed against her instantly, trembling. I stepped into the chamber slowly. "It's okay," I whispered. "Stay quiet." But even I didn't believe that, because above us we could hear them. Voices, cold, controlled, hunters. One of them spoke, their tone echoing faintly through the sand above. She was here. Another responded. The signal dropped. "They're hiding something." My heart pounded. Zena whispered over comms. If they scan deeper, they won't." Astra cut in. "They don't know where to look." A pause above, then a pulse. The entire base flickered. Zena's voice tightened. "They're probing. Not good. Not good at all." The mother Mootaa stepped closer to me, placing herself between the baby and the chamber entrance, protecting. Even now I clenched my fist. If they found us, it was over. Then footsteps again, moving. One of the council members spoke. "Nothing here." Another voice, annoyed. "She led us to empty sand, or she lost them." A long pause, then, "Pull back. We're wasting time." The footsteps began to fade. Slowly, carefully, until nothing. Silence returned. Real silence this time. Zena collapsed back slightly. "They're gone," Astra exhaled. "That was too close." I didn't relax. Not yet." "Wait," I said. Seconds passed. Then a new signal, one familiar. Zena looked at the screen. "It's Luna." The entrance opened, and there she was, breathless, shaking, but safe. "I'm so sorry," she immediately said. "They followed me. I didn't know until it was too late. I tried to lose them." I stepped forward and pulled her into a quick hug. "You're okay," I said. "That's what matters." Zena shook her head. "You almost got us all caught." Luna nodded, guilt heavy in her eyes. "I know." Astra crossed her arms. "Your date better have been worth it." Luna blinked. "I don't even think it was a real date. I think they were watching me the whole time." That made the room go quiet, because that meant one thing. "They're getting smarter," I said. Behind us, the Mootaa baby let out a small Mootaa. I looked back. The mother had relaxed again, her stance no longer tense, safe for now. I exhaled slowly. "They were close," I said. Zena nodded. "Too close." Astra smirked faintly. "Good thing we're better." Luna managed a smaller smile. And me? I looked around at all of them, at our hidden world beneath the sand of Nibiru, at what we'd built, at what we were protecting. "They won't find us," I said firmly. "Not hope, not luck, a promise." And in the quiet that followed, one soft sound echoed through the base. "Mootaa!" Not fear, not warning, just a reminder we weren't alone, and next time we'd be ready.